Hello, my name is Yoseb Kim. I am a lecturer of Department of Social Welfare in Jeonbuk National University. It's an honor to present our thesis. Our subject is the effect of care workers' sense of vacation on their competence, the mediating effect of relatedness. I'll start the presentation. In the area of care service that has recently been quantitatively expanded, the competence of care service providers is regarded as important. Competence refers to active behaviors to express one's abilities and act efficiently in the environment in which one is located. The self-determination theory of Ryan and Dexy explains competence as a factor that reinforces inner motives, along with autonomy, and as an essential factor for psychological health and growth, optimal functions, and self-realization. In previous studies, the satisfaction formed through inner motives has been shown to reduce negative elements such as burnout, and increases positive elements such as job satisfaction, job commitment, and job performance. In other words, it can be said that competence, which becomes the driving force of inner motives, is important for humans to increase their growth and efficiency in their lives or profession. The competence as such is consistently attracting attention in predicting future behavior, understanding members' motives, and the resultant behaviors in organization, and explaining the effect of leadership and organizational performance. Essential on competence began with identifying the role of competence in the academic achievement of students in the area of education. And such studies have been further expanded. The studies of the effect of competence on workers in various professions and social service fields. According to a study on competence conduct with social service workers, the higher the competence of the workers, the higher the job satisfaction, and the stronger the positive effect on service quality. Although studies on competence are expanded to many social service fields, studies on the competence of care workers who play a pivotal roles in the field of care among social service are very insufficient. In order to respond appropriately to the ever-increasing and diversifying care service needs, it is very important for care workers to improve their competence through expertise. Previously, studies has been reporting the sense of professional vocation as a very important factor in improving competence. The sense of professional vocation began from the early religion's sense, that is, the belief that one's profession was given by God. In modern times, the sense of professional vocation means the attitude to accept the profession as part of one's life and achieve self-realization and the purpose of life, passion for and success in the profession. The sense of vocation has been reported to make one to strive to improve the knowledge and skills that are helpful to their work, leading to work proficiency and expertise. In addition, it was found that those with a strong sense of vacation form competence in their work with a sense of accomplishment coming from what they achieve by themselves. That is, those with a sense of vacation become to make effort to achieve their goals, and their competence improve in the process of making good use of their strengths. It has been reported that accordingly, they gain a high sense of satisfaction with life and work and promote their enthusiasm for work, thereby improving organizational productivity. Meanwhile, in the area of services, the importance of relatedness is increasing. Relatedness is interactions to exchange interest with others, and it's the feeling of being connected to others and society. Every human wants to maintain lasting and positive relationships with others, and such relationships have a great impact on the well-being of individuals. The importance of initial relatedness has been repeatedly emphasized through studies on attachment, bond, and social support. In particular, social support, which is regarded as important in life at work, is useful social interaction received from supervisors and colleagues in working environment. A study conducted by Han with nurses reported that nurses who received support from their supervisors came to perceive themselves positively, and this led to the improvement of their competence. A study conducted by him with general office workers reported that supervisors' motivating language has positive effect on the competence of subordinates and emphasizes the relatedness between supervisor and subordinated while arguing. Their subordinated performs their work, believe their abilities, especially when the supervisor clearly present instruction to subordinated and complement or emphasize with the result of their work. The importance of relatedness as such expanded from the importance of colleague relation to relationship with the service users. That is, this is because the interaction through the relationship between service user and service providers create the value of service and act as an important factor of service satisfaction. In particular, the importance of relatedness is very high for care workers because they should form trust, that is rapport, in their relationships with the service recipient and cooperate with many experts when they provide professional care service. A study conducted by Shin and Lee verified the importance of relations as such argues that to provide high quality service. The formation of the relationship between care workers and service users is very important, and that the work of the care worker requires cooperating and harmony with fellow care workers and the family members of users. Although previous study emphasizes the importance of the sense of vacation, competence, and relatedness as described above, studies in the field of care service are very insufficient. In particular, study on the role of relatedness, which is considered very important in service business, are extremely insufficient. Since care workers provide professional care service, their competence in their work is important. In addition, the importance of relatedness is high because care workers should form trust in their relationships with the recipient and should cooperate with many experts. Accordingly, this study focus on the influencing relationship between care workers' sense of vocation and their competence, and attempt to verify whether the relatedness, which has recently attracted attention in the service field, will function as a mediating variable. Through this, the quality of care service can be improved so that the efficiency of care institution can be enhanced, while additional information on concrete pathways that affect competence can be provided. The view of thinking practice plan that can improve the competence of care workers. Research question. The purpose of this study is to verify whether relatedness show mediating effect on the effect of care workers' sense of vocation on their competence, and the concrete research questions are as follows. First, does care workers' sense of vocation affect their relatedness? Second, does care workers' sense of vocation affect their competence? Third, does the relatedness affect the competence? Fourth, does the relatedness mediating the sense of vocation and the competence? Are independence variables. Sense of vocation. The sense of vocation is a motive for an ethics of occupations and the attitude to think that the work that must be carried out in relation to care workers' work is what the person should naturally carry out and to devote themselves to the job with passion for the work. The sense of vocation was measured using 5 questions corresponding to the sense of vocation out of the scale developed by Hall and revised by Snated. I have to change them to fit this study, but 4 questions were used in the final study, excluding one question. Low commonness based on the result of factor analysis. The individual questions are: I have a true sense of vocation for the work that I do. I have a clear motive for my job. I have an internationality to professional considerateness, and I have a firm value and the sense of ethics for my job. Questions were measured with a 5-point Likert scale, and high score means a higher sense of vocation. Parameters variables. Relatedness. Relatedness refers to the relationships of care workers with the elderly attended by them and fellow care workers, and was measured using the scale made by modifying and supplementing the scale of Lee and Meslek to pick care workers. The relationship with the elderly was measured using 2 questions. Elderly I am in charge of is friendly to me, and I have an intimate relationship with the elderly. And the relationship with the colleague were measured using 3 questions. My colleague trust and respect me. My colleague help me well when I have a difficult task. And my colleague praised me when I got result in my work. Questions were measured on 5-point Likert scale, and high scores mean high relatedness. Dependent variables. Competence. Competence means care workers' ability to perform their jobs effectively and achieve results. In this study, care workers' competence was measured using 3 questions. I can easily create a comfortable atmosphere for the elderly. I have achieved many valuable things through my job, and I clearly deal with the emotional problems at work. Questions were measured on 5-point Likert scale, and higher score mean higher competence. The collected data were analyzed with the method as follows using SPS and Amos program. First, frequency analysis were carried out to find out the general characteristic of the survey subject. Second, described analysis were conducted to review the normality of the data and identify the characteristic of major variables. Third, to identify the mediating effect of relatedness between the sense of occasion and competence. The measurement model and the structure model were analyzed using structure equation modeling, and the significance of the indirect effect of the mediating effect was tested through the bootstrap method. General characteristics of survey subject. Like you see table 1, the general characteristic of the survey subject survey table 1. Of the 223 survey subjects in total, 207, a 92.8% were shown to be the female, and 16 were shown to be the males. As for age groups, there is those in their 50s were the most common at 132. As for the level of the education, high school graduate counted more than half of the survey subject. The number of them was 137. As for material stats, 213 subjects were shown to be the married, indicating that most of the survey subjects were married. As for health condition, 122 subjects were shown to be at a high level and 9 subjects were shown to be at the medium level. As for economic condition, 167 subjects were shown to be at the medium level, and 46 subjects were shown to be at the low level. As for care workers' career, 80 subjects were shown to be have one career shorter than 2 years. 60 2 and 4 years, 14 at least 6 years, and 35 4 and 6 years. Descriptive statistic of major variables, like you see the table. The average score of the sense of vocation was 3.63 point. and that of competence was 3.50 point, indicating that both variables were at the normal level. The average score of relatedness was identified as 3.68 points. Structural model. In order to check whether relatedness show mediating effect on the effect of care workers' sense of vocation on their competence, a structural model was analyzed. The model fit of the structural model was fine. So, like you can see, the resultant effect and the significance of individual pathway identified in the structural model analysis. On reviewing the result of the analysis of the structure model, it could be seen that all pathways show positive relationship, and the pathway from the sense of vocation to relatedness, that from relatedness to competence, and that from the sense of vocation to competence were statistically significant. That is, relatedness partially mediating the sense of vocation and competence. The statistical significance of the mediating effect was verified using the bootstrapping method, and according to the result, the total effect was 0.758, the direct effect was 0.509, and the indirect effect was 0.249. As for the significance of the indirect effect, bias corrected bootstrapping in the 95% confidence interval had no zero between the lower limit and the upper limit, and was significant at the level of 0.01. Therefore, the indirect effect of the relatedness was verified to the statistically significant. As conclusion, suggestion based on the finding as such as follows. First, appropriate treatment of the care workers who perform body, housework, and emotional support for long-term care deficient that are increasing year by year should precede the poor working conditions of care workers can undermine the professional self-esteem and sense of vocation of care workers, eventually leading to adverse effect on the recipient. Therefore, basic treatment of care workers should be improved so that they can exhibit competence through relationship with various experts with a sense of vocation. Second, a working environment where care workers can export their competence and promotion system should be introduced. Since care services are provided according to provision chart, there is a limitation. The uniform services are provided. However, in order to satisfy the need of various client care workers should have the competence to expand the service based on the guideline for their provision of the basic service. To that end, a systematic promotion system should be introduced to motivate care workers to develop work ability and providing them with the opportunities to grow into a professional. Last, the support that can expand care workers' relatedness should be increased. Support for association activities of care workers to share their service skills and philosophies and communication with each other or support for self-development is necessary. In particular, various kinds of time-based and physical support that will enable care workers to establish trusted relationships with the elderly are necessary because care workers can identify the needs of a client through the trusted relationship with the client and provide individual service. And such experience will make the service provider have the confidence to develop further.